Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I know I've taken a little bit of a break recently, and I'm sorry for that. I'll kind of explain that throughout this video, but today we are heading to a Civil War site in Georgia. We need to get on the road, though, because we got to go through a time change, and it's 2.5 hours away.
Okay, y'all, after what feels like forever, we have finally made it. I was getting really frustrated because the main road is closed for the Park Visitor Center, so you had to take like this extra long route. And it took us like 30 minutes to get here. But this place is like placed along like a major road. I mean, there are thousands of cars coming through here. It also said that you like had to pay, but it was also like covered up. So we might come back and the car might be towed. I don't know. We'll see. But hopefully the visitor center is still open. We're trying to make our way there now. But yeah, it's just been a very interesting trip already. But let's get into it and hopefully let's have fun. We're going to be here for about an hour. I mean, super loud. It also feels great outside. It's a little chilly. I might put on a jacket. Don't know yet. But we're going to be here for about an hour. We'll see what it's got. And then if we don't feel like it's like, we kind of get out here and it's like mid, we're going to head out and go find a better museum. But okay, we are almost within sight of the visitor center. You can hear the construction noises going on around right here, but this is the main source of all my frustration is right here. It says, even on the National Park website, which I checked, which I rarely do, that this road was open and that you were able to get to the visitor center from this road. No, it's not. National Park Service, your government ran, but you're wrong, But yeah, hopefully, I don't know, that visitor center kind of looks a little closed, but we'll see. But hopefully we get to the top of the mountain. I think that's going to be like our trail. I got water and snacks, and I'm glad I kind of brought it because we might be here for a little over an hour. And I will say that this has probably been one of the prettiest parks I've ever visited, but definitely one of the most frustrating. But hopefully we're able to get into this visitor center and give it a look around. I'll let you guys know. All right, guys, I'm officially pissed off. This has probably been one of the worst experiences ever. So let me give you some background. Number one, I know nothing about this battle. I love the Civil War. I like going to places and learning about them and kind of learning with y'all. And one of the main ways you learn is coming to these museums and stuff. The museum is closed. Everywhere online saying that it's opened. There's nothing indicating that it's closed online. It says you can access it. You can't do any of that. It's just not optional. But we're going to cut our losses and just kind of walk up the mountain for a little bit. And then we'll kind of head down and find someone else to do. But it is extremely gorgeous. And I mean, it's a hill. It is a hill. But yeah, I'll let you know if we see anything cool, and see you at the top of the mountain. Alright guys, man, I consider myself decently in shape. I mean, I'm not great at working out. I work out every once in a while. But this mountain has been straight uphill. Also, I think my asthma is starting to get to me, which is super fun. I do not know if we're going to make it all the way up the hill. We shall see. I mean, we're kind of in like middle of nowhere. I think the reason I am going to turn around now, I haven't seen any Civil War stuff. I saw one sign. There's no monuments here. And I mean, the visitor center ain't open. So it's kind of been a bust of a trip. So I think we're going to go try and find us a museum somewhere that's kind of cool where we can do some actual Civil War stuff. Because that was kind of like the point of this trip. And as much as I love walking up an unmarked but non-historic walking trail at a Civil War park, I just don't think I'm going to do it. I will say that this place is kind of situated in the middle of a kind of a fancy neighborhood. I feel like it's probably not it's trying to more focus on like, how would you say, like everyday walkers and stuff like that. But this has kind of just been a little disappointing, unfortunately. But we're going to make our way down the mountain and find us something Civil War to do. This was fun. I do love being outside and just feel great right now. But for, the kind of the point of the visit, it's kind of as a bus, which is unfortunate. Okay, well, I know I'm a little bit slow, but I think I finally pieced it together what's happening here. There's no one at this park because of the government shutdown. This is a funded government agency, and the government has shut down the National Park Service for the government shutdown. So these workers are not showing up to work because they're not getting paid for it, or something like that. I probably, which after consideration, I understand. It does kind of suck that like it happened when on like my fall break when I was able to come up here. So, but next time it is available, we will come back here and do this like a fair rating because I kind of think it wasn't fair. You know, Kennesaw Mountain. It wasn't just because the road was under construction; it was because the government shut down. But still, we're gonna go try to find someplace cool and learn some history. Okay, so we have found another museum. This place looks awesome, but it's called the Southern Museum of Civil War History and of Locomotives. I know nothing of trains, but we're about to learn some stuff. But this place is really really cool. I think those are like supposed to be like bent over railroad spikes. There's a bug in my hair. But there's like this nice little path that says museum entrance. But yeah, I'm excited. I feel like this morning was a bust, but I feel like we're gonna get some other stuff in because there's one more museum I want to go to after this. It's a different museum. It's like the history of this town. They have like some stuff from Civil War, and then they also saw some like World War II stuff. So it should be very interesting. But hopefully we were able to get in here for very cheap, and then look around and head on to the next place. Okay, so I have made it inside the museum, and it is super, super, super cool. I had a really nice talk with the man out front. He was a very nice gentleman, and kind of instructed me like what I was going to see through here. But I'm going to get to that in a minute because I feel like I'm going to have to hold on to that at the very end because I'm really, really excited to see it. But obviously, it's a beginning of this museum is a Civil War museum. You have your, some basic Civil War stuff. Got some pistols. There's the LeMat. If you ever play War of Rights, you hate to see that thing. It's interesting. The LeMat was able to hold, I want to say 9 rounds, and then it had a shot, or no, maybe it was 9 rounds. I think it is 9 rounds. But then it had a shotgun under the barrel that could fire buck and ball. Really, really annoying in a video game when you're having to face them with only a gun that shoots 6 rounds. But anyways, really, really cool revolver. You don't see many shotgun mounted pistols. Then we got some rifles. That pattern infield is looking gorgeous. And then obviously the Fayetteville rifle, very similar to the Mississippi. I really want one. If anyone knows, please help me get one. I love the artwork on the back. Very, very cool. Got some fife and drum bathroom. We might be checking that out here in a minute. Also, there's like flags up top, which is very cool. But this main museum it's focusing on how the Civil War and locomotive era mixed. Um, Obviously, trains were a very important part of the Civil War. If you know anything about the First Battle of Bull Run, it played a huge factor in the Confederate reinforcements arriving and turning the tide. The reinforcements get there and they're able to, flip the battle, and it pushes the Union back. But look, here we got some more artwork depicting Burnside's Bridge. I've been there, very cool place. And then some soldier's life cards. Looks like a little Bible. Of course, faith played a huge part in the Civil War as well. Faith, both sides during the Civil War actually claimed that God was on their side. Very interesting argument. I would go suggest looking at that because Lincoln has a really cool quote. He says, both sides claim that God is on their side, yet God cannot be for and against the same thing, which I thought is a really clever quote because he's talking about slavery. But here we go. This Confederate soldier, I don't know if he's happy, but he's protecting the rail. Let's see him.
My name's Lucius Anderson, and I'm from Sugar Valley, Georgia. And I wish I was in Sugar Valley right now. This is my 10th day out here in the middle of nowhere, guarding this railroad track, making sure no Yankees come and tear it up. I know this is an important job because General Johnston's army needs the supplies that come up this track from Atlanta. But this is the most boring thing I've done in all my life.
I don't blame him.
I'm worried about my farm and my family. and he'd taken care of.
I would listen to the whole story, but we kind of got to keep moving. If you want to come and visit, highly recommend. Okay, we got some sharps here. Gallagher, Spencer Carbines. All of those are really, really important. Now we even have some naval stuff. That photo, so that magazine's really cool. There's a lieutenant 9-button frock coat worn by the Union. There's a dress worn by women. Okay, and this is what we were kind of trying to find, but the fall of Atlanta. Everybody knows that when Sherman got to Atlanta, he didn't leave much. He burnt the place down, tore up the railroads. The whole place was a disaster. Really, really interesting as well. Go look it up, because I'm not a history professional. Don't claim to be. I just like learning about it. Oh my gosh, Abraham Lincoln and Edwin Stanton's signatures. That is really, really cool. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but Lincoln's is right there, Abraham Lincoln, and then you have Edward Stanton. That is super, super cool. But anyways, moving on. I just like learning about the Civil War, and it's a very important part of our history, defined our nation. And a lot of people just kind of want to forget about it. They think that this part of history is, shouldn't be talked about much just because it's bad. I don't think that. I don't think that's. We need to examine this part of history and figure out what went wrong. Okay, we're back. So it looks like we're entering like a little bit of a news section. We're going into slavery and a little bit of Reconstruction, and then we kind of start talking about the ironworks that was here, that helped build trains, which is very cool. I'm not a train expert. I feel like trains are cool. I think that's just a man thing, though. Like for people who don't know how to write in cursive, you can learn. I was actually lucky enough to be taught how to write in cursive. I'm not good at it, but I know. But over here we got some Reconstruction stuff. It's a carpet bag. Oh, carpetbagger. Interesting. Kind of crazy. Then over here, let's see what we got. Darn. Under maintenance. We'll excuse it. Oh, that's Robert E. Lee. Very cool. Many of you don't know that a lot of the statues regarding Robert E. Lee and Jefferson Davis were actually torn down a couple years ago, unfortunately, during the protests. I'm not going to say what protest. I don't get political on this channel. But unfortunately, they were torn down. But this is the administration's office. This, the Glover, it's called the Glover Ironworks. I think I'm getting that right. It says the Glover story. So it's gonna be the Glover Ironworks from now on, renaming it. It was built, and then unfortunately, I don't know when, but it was torn down. Those things are horrible. Hate those. If you take lab, all that stuff looks familiar. For titrations and all that, very, very difficult stuff. Very easy to mess up too. Oh, it was the Glover Tannery. Interesting. So maybe this was the tannery. I don't know. He said that this was about ironworks, but now we got this stuff. So I'm confused. Maybe it was a bunch of shops. I don't know. Kind of some cool stuff. Again, I don't really know much about this. Take a rubbing of your favorite pattern home with you. I think I want a general. Oh, the R's broken on the general though. I want the general. Hold on, we got to get this real quick. Let me set y'all up. Okay, so we got our favorite color, red. We're gonna try to do this. Okay, we're gonna have to make our own R, so don't judge, because my handwriting is pretty bad. Ooh, that is rough. I don't need to make it a little bit longer. You know what? That ain't half bad. Boom. I think we're also gonna get this one called the Glover. I think we're gonna put it on top. Oh no. Oh, it's instantly messed up. Oh yeah. Bad messed up. We're just gonna redo it. Thinking about it, I probably could have gotten the R from over here on the general. Oh well. Boom. Arts and craft complete. Okay, arts and crafts are finished. Got the foundry. This is an interesting part. Metalworking is very interesting. I know a little bit of it. My dad works at a cast iron company. I kind of know a little bit about it. I'm not great at it. What is this? I don't know what these are for. I guess you could probably I don't know. Oh well, we're just gonna move on. You can see the insides of a train in there. And there is one of these steam locomotives that they broke down to kind of show the inner workings of the train. Let's just take a look through it. We're going to look at every machine here. I don't know what any of these are. I'm just going to give you, okay, well, actually it tells us right here. That's a planer, a lathe. It's a really cool lathe, actually. Kind of very cool. Some photos of the workers. And then we got the train that is broken down. Very intricate, a lot of parts. You can see, like, it would be, these weren't easy to build and took time and effort. And I think this is the finished product right here. Which is kind of awesome. Moving over here, we have powered hacksaw. I think that's that right there, number 8. A floor drill, and then a slaughter. Kind of cool stuff. Again, I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff, so I don't know what I'm looking at. But you train nerds in the comments, let me know. Let me know. Is this stuff cool? Is this stuff rare? You know, I don't know. I have zero clue what I'm kind of looking at. But they said I could drive a train back here, so we're gonna go drive a train. Okay, I have stumbled upon the kids area. I don't know, should I play with the trains? Am I that much of a nerd? But also they have the French train back here, which we'll get into in a minute. But first we're gonna drive this train. Let's get it. Okay, I have no idea what we're doing. Let's see if we can figure it out. We got a horn though. Let's go. We're going a total of 2 miles an hour. 4 miles. Let's get cab view. That's kind of cool. Duh. I want to see how fast we can get it. Oh, the limit's 50 miles per hour. Oh, yeah. Okay, so these are things from the train car that was sent to America after we had helped them in World War II, after we liberated France. Very cool. See, I think these are like the provinces, probably. I'm guessing there's one that says Normandy, right? No. Okay. I have no idea, but there's one that says Flanders. I know what that is. Oh, Bourgogne. Historic provinces. So Gascon. Let's see. Where's Normandy? Normandy. Okay, I can't find it. We're just gonna move on. Okay, so as we're moving on to the next area, I want to kind of give it in the secret that I was holding in earlier. So where I am at, I don't know the town name, but is where the Great Locomotive Chase started. So if you don't know about this is one of the only instances in the Civil War with locomotives that I know about. And the only reason is, I'll explain that in a minute too. But I don't know the year, but basically Union, like, spies or something stole a Confederate train, and the Confederates chased them on a train, it's just kind of hilarious. It's, you know, something you really don't know about, and I've heard about it, and y'all probably have too, because Walt Disney made a film about it. Walt Disney, I don't know the name of the film, but they have a poster up here, through the tunnel, um, from like the movies and stuff, which is awesome. Very cool. Also, look at this artwork by this painter. That is Battle for Atlanta. But very cool stuff. We're just going to kind of move on through present day views along the chase route, which is super cool. I mean, just really, really interesting stuff. And there it is, the General. I don't know if this is the original. I want to say it is. I'm going to say it is. This is the original train that was stolen by the Confederates and ran. Here are the Medal of Honors that were handed out to some of the Ohio infantrymen or volunteers infantry that were that actually stole the train. I think it's awesome. Okay, and then here, which one is Walt Disney, the Great Locomotive Chase? Crazy. That is awesome. Walt Disney. We love seeing Walt Disney on there. I'm gonna have to buy me like a poster or something from this place, because this place is super cool. But look, this train is really, really impressive. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I do believe this is the original train. It said that they had to do some refurbishments on the brakes and stuff, which honestly, you know, I don't blame them. You don't want, let's see, what is this? Sorry, I get distracted. I get distracted a lot. I guess y'all know this. But still, this is one of the original train. Well, not one of the original. Just some other Civil War stuff. Kind of cool. But that is very, 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 very cool. Let's go see if we can find something else to look at. But yeah, Walt Disney made a film. I've never seen the film. I need to go and watch the film. But I want to say Walt Disney was able to work on it before his untimely passing. But yeah, it's just really, really kind of cool. But yeah, I need to take some photos of this for my family, because they'll love it too. Okay, guys, so sorry, I gotta keep the mic close to me. I forgot about that. Just got out of the museum. Probably one of the coolest museums I've ever been in. I didn't realize this, but Fess Parker, I think I'm saying his name right, played the main role in that Walt Disney movie, and he played the role of Davy Crockett in Walt Disney movies. And I loved those movies as a kid growing up. I watched them all the time. I even dressed up as Davy Crockett one year for Halloween. But I got a cool map of the railroad chase from the gift shop, and then the ladies, I was talking to them. They were like grandmas. I could definitely tell, and they gave me like a free little Auburn train because it kind of got a dent in it. No clue what I'm gonna do with it, but it's cool. There's still one more spot I'm gonna hit up. We're gonna just kind of give it like a brief overlook, and we might go somewhere else. I'm kind of trying to decide, because there could be a cooler spot we could go to. We could probably go into Atlanta and find a really cool museum there. I'm just not really sure. History Center. It looks kind of cool. I think there should be some cool Civil War stuff in here. Let's go give it a look. Okay, sorry everybody. I'm gonna be really quiet, so I'm gonna try to keep this as close to my mouth as possible, and hopefully y'all can hear me. So I had to kind of make a mad dash for it and make it to the last showing of the Cyclorama. I'm gonna kind of go into depth on it a little bit, explain some of the major details, starting over here. So, okay, you can see right at the top of my finger, there's like a wagon and a house. The house is where General Sherman made his headquarters for the battle. And the wagon is actually leading the commander. I don't remember his name. He was shot and killed, I believe, by rebel skirmishers who were trying to distract him to get him to surrender, but he didn't. He ran away. He was shot and killed. And then this guy down here takes over. He rallies his guys and pushes the Confederates back. But I'll explain why, like how he's pushing back, whatever. At the top of my finger, I don't know how well y'all can see how well you can see that, but that's actually General Sherman looking over the battlefield. And then more over here, we have the captured Union position, which the Union men are counterattacking, as you can see right here. The cannon were actually the Unions, and then the rebels attacked and captured it, and now the Union is trying to push them out, which they successfully do. But that man over there is leading the counter and pushing the rebels back. Very, very heavy fighting. You can see that's a lot of rebels kind of in a tight situation. You wouldn't think that this counterattack would work, but it actually does, and is able to push the rebels back and seals the fate for the Confederates of a defeat. And then again over here we have some more fighting. You got a rebel 12-pounder right there. Would not want to be in front of that big old thing. Again, keep moving around the flank. Some of these photos you may have seen from Ken Burns' The Civil War. I believe this painting is featured in that series. It should be. Over here we have some Confederate prisoners, as well as a Confederate battle flag that has been captured. And then more over here, we have the far left. We have a bunch of rebel prisoners, actually. You can be seen right there above my finger, being taken back. Then another major part of the battlefield. Looks like the rebels are attacking. And then again, heading towards the rear, just have some more Union troops. Again, sorry, there's quite a few people in here. Just really, really cool stuff. But this place is really, really cool. I've actually been to this is one of 2 historic dioramas in the U.S., and I've actually been to the other one. And I'm not going to tell you where. I want y'all to guess in the comments down below. Where is that diorama? There's only 2 of them in the U.S., and I think it's pretty obvious. But we're going to head downstairs and see some other stuff. I think we can walk around the base. It looks like we can, actually. See, yeah, we're going to do that real quick, but I'm not going to talk during this. This is just going to be kind of a one shot, and you can pause the video at any time, give it a better look. But yeah, here we go. Excuse me. Also, this is kind of cool. You can see a eagle far above, kind of representing a Union victory. And there are the railroad tracks, which the Confederates were trying to recapture. So you can kind of see they kind of got stopped pretty far away. They're trying to get over there, recapture those rail lines, repair them, and hopefully get some resupplied. But let's go out here and look at other stuff out here. Okay, I had no intention of stopping out here, but that's kind of cool. This is like the outer shell, and you can kind of see that it's not on paper. It's more of like a cloth, but it is just absolutely huge. Let's give a look out here. Kind of cool. Also want to go check out the gift shop here, so hopefully we can check that out. Oh wow, look at these. We got is that a Henry repeating rifle? I think so, and then a pattern infield below it, I believe. That might be a Springfield. That's a Springfield. Okay, this is actually the pistol of the man behind the officer leading the charge or counterattack. If you pause the video, you should be able to see it. He's actually holding the pistol up in the air, which is kind of cool. Yes, that's a Henry repeating rifle. And then model 1861 rifled musket, Springfield. It looks like Springfield. Not very sure. It actually doesn't even say on there. It's the Battle of Nashville. There were other cycloramas that existed, but unfortunately they were all destroyed or lost. Again, there's only 2. See if you can figure out the other one. Looks like this is advertisement for the cyclorama, trying to draw some people in and give it a look. I wouldn't be not shocked. I wouldn't want people to come look at my exhibit as well. Oh, okay. I just saw this out of the corner of my eyes. This movie, if you have not watched Glory and you like the Civil War, do it tonight. I mean, wow. One of the most fantastic movies I've ever seen. Looks like there's just some music playing in there, so we're just gonna skip on that. Let's see what time it is. It's 8:36. This place closes at 4. So we're gonna head upstairs and try to find some other stuff to look at. Also want to go look at the gift shop. But it does says 106,000 figures in the painting, 120 figures in the diorama, which I think are like the clay ones or the whatever. 0 identified Confederates, 24 identified U.S. officers. It took 4 stops. 1886 it was in Minneapolis. 1888 it was in Indianapolis. 1891 it was in Chattanooga, and then in 1982 it was Atlanta. Weighs 10,000 pounds, 17,866 square feet, 371 foot long, 49 feet tall. It cost about $40,000. I don't think they really know. 5 months, 17 artists. It was painted in 1886. Pretty cool. Alright, let's head on to the next spot. Okay, it looks like we have some campaigning for election. Very cool. Casualties during the battles. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Just keep it moving. And then this is another one of, I want to say, I don't think this is the general, but this is the other train that was in the Great Locomotive Trace. I'm guessing this was probably the Confederate one that was chasing them. Again, it's of the Texas, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Again, I'm not going to stop long for these places just because gotta keep moving. Yeah, let's go find something else to look at. Okay, so I walked through, asked some ladies, I was like, hey, I don't have much time, what do you think I do? They suggested going outside to seeing this historic house from the Civil War that wasn't moved, but I saw this on the way. This is really, really cool. It's a model of the USS Atlanta. It was lost at Guadalcanal, which is kind of cool. It's horrible, sunk. But we're gonna go take a run outside and hopefully see some cool stuff. Okay, I know we keep getting sidetracked, but this is kind of cool. It's like, I don't know if this is what it would look like, but it's like a little cafe that you can come in and eat. Kind of cool. Like if you want to come have a picnic in here, I guess. But outside, and we got to hurry. We got 18 minutes. This is kind of wild. I don't know. I've never been in a rush before, and normally I always like have a plan, but we don't have time for a plan. It is spectacularly gorgeous out here. Spectacular. I don't know how you say that word. But we got 18 minutes to make it, and then we got to head out. But we're heading to the Smith Farm. Really, really pretty out here though. Feels great. It's like 65 degrees. My asthma isn't act up anymore, so that's always a win. Okay, so, well, I actually didn't have to walk that far. But here we are. We're at the Smith farm. I see a sheep. I'm going to touch it. So I think this is, it said this was pre-Civil War. Looks like they do some foundry in here still. Probably make like a cool little nail or something. Oh, they have sheep. Bah. But still pretty cool. Let's see what we got. Where's Hercules? I want Hercules, bruh. But really kind of cool. I think they said this was employees only. Can't go that way. Hello. Oh my goodness. I think that's Hercules. His ears go behind his head. No, I think that's Hercules over there. I can't tell. I can confirm they do smell like sheep. I want to pet this one. I'm gonna pet him. Hey, bub. Looks like he's chewing on cud. Oh, look at that one. He looked a little stupid. That's okay, though. That's okay. Alright, moving on. We gotta hurry. Alright, continuing on back towards the end of the house. It looked, I don't know what that was. This might not be the pre-Civil War thing. I think it is. Holy smokes, those are some big spiders. I want to say this is the Civil War, like pre-Civil War. Oh no, it doesn't look pre-Civil War-ish, but you know, bear with me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Looks like they have some chickens. Yeah, I can see them in there. Cameras might be able to pick it up. It's too dark. Again, it's very pretty. We're gonna go do this. And we'll work our way back. We got 15 minutes to get out of here. I don't know if they're just gonna lock the door on me or what's gonna happen. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so this is the pre-Civil War house. This is the Smith farm. However, half the people living on Smith Farm during the 1850s and 1860s were enslaved persons. Wow, it was moved here. Crazy. So their slave cabin, which was not this cabin, was moved. This might be a recreation of the slave cabin. I don't really know. Again, there's a lot of stuff in here to read. Unfortunately, we just don't have time. This thing right here is actually like it makes music. Probably not supposed to touch them, but I think like these are all musical items. I think I'm not really sure. We're just gonna keep moving on. Again, we're kind of in a rush. I'm gonna call it. That's probably the outhouse where you do the dookie. But let's see here. Got 14 minutes. Let's go this way. Again, like I said, very pretty. Very, very, very pretty place. Okay, so this looks like their smoker. Definitely. So they would make a fire and then hang their meats from here. Smoked meat was really, really, really good way to preserving your food for a little bit. That's probably their washer or maybe a well. Let's see what this is. Okay, this looks like their kitchen, maybe? Not really sure. In the comments, let me know. There's a lot of cooking instruments. Yeah, there's the stove. That's where they cook. I guess you'd want to keep it separate from your house, because like if you're that way your kitchen farm when it kitchen burned down, your house didn't burn too. Let's see here. We got 13 minutes, y'all. We can go in. Okay, let's go inside real quick. Hand sanitizer. I'm good. I'm not touching stuff. Upstairs is not open. When I tell you it is probably 85 degrees in here. Significantly hotter outside. The blue china is amazing. Lexi would love that. That clock is actually working. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Crazy. That vent is not blowing cold air. Let's see, is this? Oh, this is a Bible. It's very wet. I'm guessing probably a lot of people touch that every day. Here's one of the bedrooms. Looks like a children's bedroom. Definitely. There's some Lincoln Logs. Everybody had Lincoln Logs growing up. Especially growing up in the South. We always play with. Holy smokes, that's a loom. Yeah, I ain't touching that. That's how they'd make like carpet and stuff, right? Or like dresses. I'm guessing upstairs is probably the parents' room. You just can't go up there, unfortunately. Holy smokes! They're growing opium. I want some opium. Really kind of cool in here. I'm gonna be honest. This stuff's kind of cool. I like it when places do this. And guess this was probably moved, but I gotta go to the bathroom. Unfortunately, it's getting kind of close to leaving. But I think we're gonna go inside. We got 10 minutes, and we might do like a sweep through of something inside, like the Native American, or the golf one. I think they have a women's golf exhibit, and it looked really cool too. But I will say this place is definitely really cool. I wish Lexi was here because Lexi loves the Native American stuff, and I feel like she would really like the Native American exhibit. And also, it's like a botanical garden as well, and they have a farm, not another farm, but what would you call it? I can't think of the term. It's like a Victorian house, and it looked gorgeous. But let's head inside and let's run through one of the exhibits real quick. It's currently 3:50, so we got 10 minutes. When I came inside, there was like little kids staring at me. Starting to clean the place. We gotta go. Oh yeah. Feel the burn. Okay, we're gonna go into the Native American one. Just very quickly.
The descendants of the Mississippian Indians, the people of Old Creeks, and those we know as the Cherokees, built new nations on native lands and continue the legacy.
Super cool. Wow. Zero Creeks, 1830. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's really cool. This is Native Americans aren't talked about enough, but what we did to them was bad. Not right. Not right at all. But yeah, we're gonna keep moving on. We did that one really quick. We might be able to do the other one if it's that small. You'd think it'd be a little bit bigger. Let's run over here real quick. Ooh, sorry about that. That was shaky. I think he was the first golfer to get the Grand Slam. Right? Someone correct me. Oh yeah. Yeah, he got the Grand Slam. Oh wow, there's a Masters jacket over here. Oh wow. That's really cool. Oh, that's Robert Trent Jones. He's another really big name in golf, not in racing. I think me and my buddies are about to go play a Robert Trent Jones par 3 down in Auburn. Really cool stuff. Unfortunately, don't have enough time to look at all of it, but I think we're gonna head on out and I'll meet you outside. All right, guys. I'm gonna start trying to do this, but I'm gonna review this place. So I got here within an hour. I had about an hour and 5 minutes inside the museum. The Civil War show and the Cyclorama, 10 out of 10. I would do that again every day of the week. I would maybe an 8 out of 10 because they need a little bit more Civil War stuff. Just wasn't enough to, it was good. It just wasn't enough, Other than that, the rest of the museum, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, and here's why. I don't normally hate on things like this. This place was good. It was, but I paid $27 to get in here, an adult, and then there was I actually got a discount. It was 24. They gave me a student discount even though they don't have one. I think it was their senior discount. The other total is $27, which after tax is $30. The museum, the Cyclorama, yeah, maybe worth $15, but the rest of the museum was not. The outside was really cool. I'll give that an 8, but overall, the inside experience just wasn't that good. They did have an interactive kids exhibit. I'm 19. I'm not going to do that, so I might be a little harsh. We'll give it a point or two. So, would I come here again? Yes and no. I would come here again for the Civil War stuff, and that's about it. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Again, I'm going to try to get out more content to y'all. I've deeply apologize for taking that break for so long. I just needed a break to rest and rejuvenate myself and get ready to post more content because it takes a lot of energy and time to do this stuff, and I think y'all know that. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and comment. It really does help. And if you want to, completely free, subscribe. It helps the channel the most. It grows our audience, and you become a bird. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.